Radiant Tale transports players to the vibrant world of Escoltia, where magic and mystery are woven into the fabric of everyday life. The game is a fantasy otome about a performance troupe with a pretty weird set of cast, each with strong personalities that can make their interactions and even the story progression all over the place. So does this dysfunctional cast actually find a cohesive narrative with the makings of a memorable otome? Well, in this video, we'll be covering the first game as well as the sequel or fandisc, Fanfare. And I'll be sharing what I liked and disliked in my experience, and hopefully by the end of the video, you should have a good idea of whether or not this otome is for you. Just a gentle reminder that while we'll only show clips from the official channels and the prologue, there might be some that you might consider minor spoilers. So grab your snacks and cozy up. Here are 5 things you need to know before playing Radiant Tale. The story begins with Tifalia, a young woman whose life takes a dramatic turn when a dragon crashes into her world. This incident leads her to join Circus, a unique performance troupe with a mission to save their crown prince through their enchanting shows. The game's lore is rich and immersive, revealing a world where cities are burdened by hidden issues that prevent the magical chloris flowers from blooming. As Circus travels from city to city, players uncover the reasons behind the citizens' unhappiness, subtly reflecting real-world issues with a fantastical context. Each performance aims to heal these cities, making the journey both a magical adventure and a quest for change. For the love interests, first up is Zephora. Zephora is the dependable, goal-oriented strategist of the group. The heroine first met Zephora as this rude and sharp-tongued member of Circus. He's voiced by Junya Inoki, known for his work as Ryuki from Cupid Parasite, Luca from Ikemen Revolution, and Mihaya from Paradigm Paradox. Zephora is usually calm and is a good strategist as shown in multiple routes, but especially his own. And that's probably because he also works as an information broker outside of being a member of Circus. He's used to doing things alone, and that's why I appreciate how his decision to open up to the members of Circus, including the heroine, happened early on in the common route. We'll see how he stumbles and gradually trusts and depends on the main cast. The best part of his route for me is his banter with the cast and the heroine. You know that they have each other's backs. Route-wise, I enjoyed the action, the plot twist, and even the romance. The ending of the first game, however, fell a bit short for me. In the fandisc, he's still pretty much the same in terms of saying and showing affection to the heroine. I did like how Tifalia accepts this and how much more forward she is in his route. He did step up at the end, and contrary to the first game, most of the plot points happen at the end. Then we have Pascalia. Pascalia was first introduced to the heroine as an entity akin to water. And while she was a bit confused at first, it made sense when she finally met him. He's voiced by Yuichiro Omihara, known for his work as Canis from Cafe Enchante, Minato from Sympathy Kiss, and Enishi from Jack John. Behind Pascalia's gentle nature is someone who has low self-esteem, something to which I can relate to. Pascalia's route delves into his pessimistic nature, which can get frustrating at times. I really liked Pascalia's mini chuckles through the common route, and I just assume we'll be hearing more of it in his route. But alas. However, the depth of his character and the challenges he faces make his story really engaging for me. I find Pascalia's interaction with the heroine adorable. While his route is heartbreaking, his resolve felt so genuine that I can't help but root for them. His ending is probably one of the best in my opinion. I really liked his story in the fandisc as well. In the first game, Pascalia's pessimism keeps him thinking that he is not worthy of her. And I enjoy that he's able to move past that. His story is the most visually appealing for me, and it doesn't help that Pascalia has this princely aura, especially more so in the fandisc. Next up is Eon. The heroine's first encounter with Eon is definitely the most memorable. With his intimidating look, it was no wonder the heroine reacted the way she did. He's voiced by Yohei Ezakami, known for his work as Nana from Tokyo Memo 4 and Koharu from 9-Rip. He has this suspicious eye patch that will definitely make one curious. The reason behind it will be tackled later in the common route and more in-depth in his route. Good thing it wasn't just some weird fashion sense. I enjoyed Eon's character development. He's not so resistant to change unlike some of the other love interests. His background is one of the saddest, and his cautious personality is definitely not without grounds. Eon's story is deeply emotional with a backstory that I feel will resonate with anyone. His route is filled with intense moments that will definitely leave a lasting impression. Eon's gentlemanly demeanor and the mutual growth between him and Tifalia create quite a compelling romance. In the fandisc, his route is pretty heartwarming. It focuses on their simple, happy life together, which actually makes me feel giddy. They are just so adorable. Ian also shows a surprising boldness in the sequel, which is a plus for me as it adds depth to his gentle nature. Moving on, we have Raddy. Raddy is the lovely mascot of the group and family/guardian to the heroine. He's voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto, known for his work as Yang from Pio Fiore, Taiga from Variable Barricade, and Peter from Cupid Parasite. While he's this outspoken and downright adorable fae, not much is known about his past before meeting the heroine. Some secrets did come to light in the common route, then later becomes a free-for-all in his own route. His route covers his and Tefalia's past, which is quite deep into the main plot, so it's best to play him second to the last. While there was a lot of exposition, my favorite would still have to be the focus on his and Tefalia's relationship with each other. I find that the brother-to-sister turned lover trope is especially tricky. But in Raddy's case, it wasn't that bad since the chemistry between him and Tefalia is still beautifully portrayed, especially in the beginning. In the fandisc, their story is pretty sweet, but might feel a bit slow. It explored how both of them can move forward from the status quo, with Tefalia working on circus renewal and Raddy supporting her every step of the way. Then we have Vilio. Vilio is the bright and cheery member of Circus. With a positive and no-quitting mindset, it makes him very approachable to others. He's voiced by Yuma Uchida, known for his work as Suzu Orimaki from Jack John, Yosuga from Olympia Soiree, and Ives from Ikemen Prince. He has a very memorable entrance, one that actually triggers the whole story and changes Tefalia's life forever. Sounds pretty dramatic, right? But aside from being the poster boy, I do think that they are meant to be. To unlock his route, you need to finish the 4 guys' routes first. He will have a separate common route, and while the same events happen, this time around, we will see it from his perspective. His route ties up all the hanging conflicts in the other routes, and I enjoy the pacing, even with all the tension by the end. I really like Vilio's character, how he's so innocent and curious about many things, especially coming from the countryside. His dedication to Tefalia becomes evident as you go through his route, and it makes their love story pretty sweet and fulfilling. In the fandisc, Vilio becomes more mature and takes great care of Tefalia. Their private moments together are really sweet and show how much Vilio has grown. The focus is more on the emotional journey, and it makes this route a fitting conclusion to the series. Now let's move on to the if stories of the fandisc. Honestly, this is where the meat of the fandisc is. Jinya and Leon's route. The story picks up after the common route of the first game. First up is Jinya. Jinya is the troupe leader of Circus. Noble and flamboyant, you'll know whenever he's in the room. He's voiced by Takashi Kondo, known for his work as Sugonobu from Birushana, Miki Saburo from Hakuoki, and Shiba from Ephemeral. In the first game, we know him as lazy yet dependable, and his own route is no different. His route is filled with light-hearted moments, the typical banter with the heroine. But there's an unexpected depth that explores his hidden insecurities and growing bond with Tefalia. I definitely love Tefalia on this route. Her honesty, resilience, and proactiveness in getting the man she wants is pretty awesome if you ask me. Jinya's charm and energy makes his story engaging and heartwarming. I really enjoyed the ending of his route. The meeting with his parents, the reactions were pretty funny to me. And of course, the bonus at the end was Chef's Kiss, something I might not recover from. Then we have Leon. Leon is the cheerful tavern owner, Cheers, who openly shows his affection for the heroine too frequently, making the words hold little to no meaning in the eyes of Tefalia. He's voiced by Hiroshi Watanabe, known for his work as Lawrence from Fire Emblem Three Houses. In the first game, Leon is this wonderful side character who helps the main cast get out of trouble in multiple routes. His route focuses on interactions of Fae and humans, and you'll learn about his touching backstory. I was pretty blindsided by the plot, but it kind of still made sense. It was still all about Leon after all. And in his story, you'll find what's behind this flirty facade. I find that Leon's journey with Tefalia is one of mutual understanding and healing, which makes the romance deeply satisfying for me. Each route not only explores the personal stories of the love interests, but also contributes to the overarching narrative of Circus's mission. The common route introduces players to the troupe's dynamics and the world's lore, while individual routes delve deeper into each character's background and personal growth. The common route in this game is definitely one of my favorites. In each chapter, each choice you make will let you experience different exchanges between different sets of love interests, if that makes sense. The pacing of the story is actually pretty good. It ensures that players are continuously engaged as Circus overcomes both personal and external obstacles. The interactions within the cast are heartfelt and humorous, and I just really enjoy the found family trope, and a well-executed one at that. Each character has hidden depths, and their journey towards self-discovery and improvement is pretty relatable. Overall, I find that the game is able to balance lighthearted moments with deeper emotional themes, which adds layers to the narrative. Tufali is a refreshing protagonist who brings positivity and determination to the troupe. Her journey from an ordinary girl to a capable producer is really inspiring. Despite her initial naivety, Tufali's growth throughout the game is evident as she learns to navigate the challenges of managing quite a dysfunctional group. Her interactions with the love interests are genuine and evolve naturally, and it shows different facets of her personality. I find that Tufali's kindness and resilience make her a character that I can root for. I love that despite being an ordinary girl, her presence in the game pushes the story forward without needing her to be some secret, powerful, magical person. In the fandisc, Tufali remains a positive and determined protagonist as she navigates new challenges and deepens her relationships with the troupe members, and Leon. The supporting cast in Radiant Tale are quite memorable, and I like how they have their own backstories that are explored in their respective routes. My favorites were Jinya and Leon, but since they've been promoted to love interests in the fandisc, let me introduce you to Alist and Colivus. Alist is the king's right-hand man and Jinya's childhood friend. The juxtaposition of Alist's seriousness and Jinya's carefree personality and the banter between them that comes with it lives rent-free in my mind. Then we have Colivus, the Prince of Escoltia. He plays quite a significant role in most routes, that I would have thought that he too should have had a route of his own in the fandisc. Speaking of fandisc, these two have mini stories about them, and while their chemistry with Tufali is heartwarming and cute, I just wish it was longer. Not just a 1-minute read. Kidding aside, I'm actually looking at it as a teaser of sorts. Maybe there's going to be a second fandisc, who knows? Radiant Tale is a visual feast, with character designs and backgrounds that are vibrant and detailed. The artwork, done by the same illustrator as Variable Barricade, brings the characters to life with expressive faces and dynamic poses. Each CG is a work of art, enhancing the emotional impact of key scenes. The game's use of color and light creates an enchanting atmosphere that draws players into the world of Escoltia. The attention to detail in both the characters and the settings makes each scene visually appealing and immersive. The music in Radiant Tale complements the visual and narrative elements perfectly. The soundtrack highlights the game's action and emotional moments. And I love how each love interest has their own background music that complements well to their personalities. Each piece of music sets the tone for the scenes, from the whimsical performances to the more serious introspective moments. Both the first game and fandisc delivers. The combination of a well-crafted soundtrack and excellent voice acting enhances the overall gaming experience. Radiant Tale stands out for me as this fantasy world with actual real-world issues, where a magical troupe seeks to heal a fractured world through their performances. The game's ability to address these issues with a fantastical setting adds layers of meaning to the story. As for the gameplay, well, both the first game and the fandisc lets you explore different locations in Escoltia via a map of sorts. And this additional layer of gameplay does not go unnoticed, especially since other games would just default to a text selection. If you're looking for lighthearted, wholesome moments, with deeper, more serious themes, with a balanced narrative that is both entertaining and thought-provoking, then look no further than Radiant Tale. And if you enjoyed the first game, then Radiant Tale Fanfare is definitely a must-play for fans. While the fandisc is not too big on the plot, the window to everyday after-stories and interactions of Tufali and company is already worth it in my opinion. Not to mention new routes for two new love interests. For me, without compelling art, even the best-written visual novels might struggle to fully immerse their audience. In my opinion, art impacts everything, from first impressions to storytelling, engagement, and inclusivity. And in this video, we reviewed an otome with gorgeous art and animation in a similar vein to that of Radiant Tale. If you enjoy games like these as much as I do, you won't want to miss this. So click on the video and I'll see you there. Stay awesome, gamers!